Do you know your worth? Truly know it deep down? Self-worth is the foundation of our lives. It's the belief in our inherent value as human beings. This isn't about arrogance or ego. It's about recognizing our inherent worthiness. It's about knowing that we are enough, just as we are. We are all unique, with our own strengths and weaknesses. We all deserve to feel good about ourselves. However, we live in a world that often tries to define our worth for us. External validation, while seemingly harmless, can actually chip away at our self-worth. When we seek approval from others, we give them the power to determine our value. We start to see ourselves through their eyes rather than our own. This can lead to a never-ending cycle of seeking validation, always feeling like we have to prove ourselves. External validation is a trap. It's a fleeting feeling that leaves us wanting more. When we base our worth on the opinions of others, we become dependent on them for our happiness. We start to believe that we are only as good as our last accomplishment, our last social media post, or our last interaction with someone. This constant need for approval can be exhausting. It can also lead us down a path of self-doubt and insecurity. When we don't receive the validation we crave, we start to question our worth. We may even start to believe the negative things that others say about us. This can have a devastating impact on our self-esteem and our overall well-being. We live in a society that often places unrealistic expectations on us. From a young age, we are bombarded with messages about what we should look like, how we should behave, and what we should achieve. These societal pressures can be overwhelming. We strive to fit in, often at the expense of our own well-being. This pressure to conform can manifest in many ways. We may feel pressured to pursue a certain career path. We may feel the need to present a perfect image on social media. We might even change our appearance to fit in. These external expectations can weigh heavily on our sense of self. One of the biggest challenges to our self-worth is negative feedback from others. Criticism, whether constructive or not, can cut deep. It can shake our confidence and make us question our abilities. When someone rejects us, it can feel like a rejection of our very being. It's important to remember that not everyone will understand or appreciate us. Everyone has different opinions and preferences. Just because one person doesn't see our worth, it doesn't mean we are not worthy. Their opinion is just that. An opinion, not a definition of who we are. In today's hyper-connected world, it's easier than ever to compare ourselves to others. Social media can fuel feelings of inadequacy and self-doubt. We see highlight reels and compare them to our own struggles. Everyone is fighting their own battles and striving for success. We lose sight of our own accomplishments, focusing on perceived lacks. This constant comparison can steal our joy. Social media is not a reflection of reality. It's a curated version, often idealized. Comparing ourselves to these unrealistic standards is detrimental. Embrace your individuality and appreciate your unique qualities. Our journey of self-worth often begins in childhood. Early experiences shape our beliefs about ourselves and the world. Feeling loved and supported helps develop a strong sense of self-worth. Constant criticism can lead to a negative self-image. These experiences influence our thoughts and behaviors long after childhood. We can learn to embrace our worth and feel deserving of love and belonging. Social media connects us globally but challenges our self-worth. We see unrealistic standards of perfection. Comparing ourselves to these images can lead to envy and self-doubt. It's important to appreciate our own unique qualities. Our relationships, both romantic and platonic, can also have a profound impact on our self-worth. When we surround ourselves with people who love, support, and encourage us, we feel more confident and secure in ourselves. These positive relationships serve as mirrors, reflecting back to us our own worthiness and lovability. On the other hand, unhealthy or toxic relationships can erode our self-esteem, leaving us feeling depleted and unworthy. If we are constantly criticized, belittled, or made to feel small in a relationship, it can take a toll on our sense of self. We may start to doubt ourselves, questioning our worthiness of love and respect. It's important to remember that we teach people how to treat us. By setting healthy boundaries and surrounding ourselves with people who uplift and empower us, we create an environment where our self-worth can flourish. We live in a culture that often glorifies perfectionism, leading us to believe that we need to be flawless in order to be worthy of love, acceptance, and success. We strive to be the best, to achieve the most, and to present a perfect image to the world. However, this pursuit of perfection is often fueled by a fear of failure, a fear of not being good enough. This fear can drive us to set unrealistic standards for ourselves, leading to burnout, anxiety, and a constant feeling of inadequacy. The truth is, perfection is an illusion. It doesn't exist. We are all human, and as humans, we are inherently imperfect. Our imperfections are what make us unique, what make us interesting, what make us human. It's time to embrace our imperfections, to celebrate our flaws, and to recognize that our worthiness is not contingent upon being perfect. Breaking free from the need for external validation is a journey, not a destination. It's about shifting our focus from seeking approval from others to cultivating self-acceptance and self-love. It's about recognizing that our worth comes from within, not from external sources such as likes, comments, or other people's opinions. This journey begins with self-awareness. Start paying attention to the thoughts and beliefs that are holding you back. What negative self-talk do you engage in? What triggers your need for external validation? Once you become aware of these patterns, you can start to challenge and reframe them. Remember, you are worthy simply because you exist. You are deserving of love and belonging, just as you are. Embrace your imperfections, celebrate your strengths, and never let anyone dim your light. For years, I chased validation. From academics to relationships, I sought approval like oxygen. Good grades brought fleeting joy, replaced by the anxiety of the next exam. Praise for my work felt hollow, always craving more. Then came a turning point. A project I poured my heart into, one I believed in deeply, was met with harsh criticism. Not just constructive feedback, but soul-crushing negativity. This wasn't a casual acquaintance, but someone I respected, whose opinion held weight. The initial blow was devastating. I questioned my abilities, my judgment, my very worth as a creator. Days were spent in a fog of self-doubt, the words of rejection echoing in my mind. The validation I craved had become a weapon turned against me. It was in the quiet moments, amidst the wreckage of my shattered confidence, that a realization dawned. Why was I giving so much power to the opinions of others? This project, for all its perceived flaws, was a true reflection of me, my passions, my unique voice. I had a choice to make. Continue to chase validation, contorting myself to fit the ever-changing expectations of others, or embrace my authentic self, flaws and all. It was a terrifying prospect, to put myself out there without the armor of external approval. But something had shifted within me. The sting of rejection, while painful, had also been liberating. It had forced me to confront the fragility of my self-worth, its dependence on factors outside my control. I began to let go, not of the project itself, but of the need for it to be validated by anyone other than myself. I returned to it with a newfound sense of purpose, not to please others, but to honor my own creative vision. The feedback didn't magically become positive, but it no longer held the same power over me. I had found a wellspring of self-worth within myself, a belief in my own value that transcended the opinions of others. It wasn't about becoming indifferent to feedback, but rather about reframing its importance. Constructive criticism became an opportunity for growth, a chance to refine my craft. Negative feedback, while still unpleasant, no longer threatened to derail my entire sense of self. This shift from external validation to self-acceptance was a turning point in my life. It freed me to pursue my passions with more authenticity, courage, and joy. Throughout this journey, we've explored the complexities of self-worth. We've seen how societal pressures, negative feedback, and the comparison game can chip away at our sense of self. We've delved into the impact of childhood experiences, social media, and relationships on our self-perception. But amidst these challenges, there's a powerful truth. Your worth is inherent. It's not determined by external factors, but by the simple fact of your existence. You are worthy, not because of what you achieve, but because you are you. Reclaiming your narrative is about shifting from seeking external validation to cultivating internal validation. It's about recognizing the voices that have shaped your self-perception, the critics, the doubters, the voices of the past, and choosing to no longer let them dictate your worth. The journey to self-worth is not about achieving perfection, but about embracing your authentic self, flaws, and all. It's about recognizing that your imperfections are not limitations, but rather what makes you unique and beautiful. It's a journey of self-discovery, of learning to love and accept yourself unconditionally. It's about quieting the noise of the outside world and tuning into the wisdom within. Trust your intuition, honor your values, and never be afraid to shine your light brightly. Remember, you're capable of amazing things. You have within you the strength, the resilience, and the creativity to create a life you love, a life that feels authentic and fulfilling. Believe in yourself, even when others don't, and never give up on your dreams. Take a moment to reflect on your own journey with self-worth. What steps can you take today to start prioritizing your own needs and embracing your authentic self? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your voice matters. Ready to dive deeper? Check out my next video on cultivating self-love and building unshakable confidence.